In this lecture, we're going to explore composite data types in Python. These are essential tools in any programmer's toolkit, allowing us to store and manipulate collections of data efficiently. We'll delve into sequence data types like lists and tuples, examine the mapping data type with dictionaries, and wrap up with set data types. By the end of this lecture, you'll have a solid understanding of how to use these data types effectively in your Python programs. All right, let's start with lists. Think of a list as a collection of items, like a grocery list. Each item in the list can be of any data type, integers, strings, or even other lists. Let's jump into VS Code and see this in practice. I create a new file and name it as list.py. Here's how we create a list in Python. I add a grocery list, which includes apples, bananas, and carrots. And I print the entire list. For running, I open the terminal, and I type python list.py. Here's how the list is printed. You can access items in a list using their index. Remember, Python uses zero-based indexing, so the first item is at index 0. Let's print list items individually by their indices. For running again, in the terminal, you can use the up arrow key and press Enter. And here are the items printed individually. You can also modify items in a list. I change the item at index 1 to blueberries. If I print the modified list and run again, you see the item at index 1 has changed from bananas to blueberries. Lists are super flexible. You can add items to a list using the append method. I append dates to my grocery list and print again. After running the script, we see the new item is added to the end of the list. You can also remove items using the remove method. Let's, for example, remove carrots. If I execute the code, you see the carrots item has been removed from the list. Finally, you can remove all the list items at once using the clear method. And here is our empty list. Alternatively, you could define an empty list using open and close square brackets. Which yields the same result. Next up, we have tuples. Tuples are similar to lists, but there's a key difference. They're immutable. Once you create a tuple, you can't change it. Let's give it a try. I create a new file and name it as tuple.py. When creating a tuple, we use parentheses. For example, this creates a tuple with two elements, 10 and 20. I print the coordinates. For running in the terminal, I type python tuple.py. And here is how a tuple is illustrated. Just like lists, you can access items in a tuple using their index. Let's print the elements individually by their indices. Here are the individual elements. But if you try to modify an item in a tuple, you'll get a type error. It says tuple object does not support item assignment. Tuples are useful when you want to create a collection of items that shouldn't change, like coordinates or configuration settings. Now, let's talk about mapping data types such as dictionaries. A dictionary is a collection of key-value pairs, like a real-world dictionary where you have words and their definitions. I create a new file and name it as dict.py. Here's how you create a dictionary in Python. We use curly braces to enclose the key-value pairs. Each key is separated from its corresponding value by a colon, and each key-value pair is separated by a comma. You can access values in a dictionary using their keys. Let's print the phone number for Alice. In this case, Alice is the key and the phone number is the value. You can also add or modify key-value pairs. I add Charlie and his phone number to the dictionary. Then we see Charlie's contact in the dictionary. And you can remove key-value pairs using the del keyword. Let's remove Bob from the dictionary. Then we don't see Bob anymore. Dictionaries are great for storing data that needs to be quickly looked up by a unique key, like a phone book or a database of user information. Finally, let's look at sets. A set is a collection of unique items. It's like a list, but it can't have duplicate values. Let's create a new file and practice how to deal with sets. I create a set of fruits, including apple, banana, and cherry. Notice that I used curly braces when defining a set. You can add items to a set using the add method. For example, I add date to my set and print it again. You see it is added here. Unlike lists, sets are unordered collections of unique items, meaning each item can appear only once in a set. If you try to add a duplicate item, nothing happens. I try to add apple to my set again. And you see it does nothing, and there is still one apple in the set. And finally, you can remove items using the remove method. Let's remove banana. And you see it's not there anymore. Sets are perfect for situations where you need to ensure all items are unique, like keeping track of unique visitors to a website or unique tags in a blog post. And there you have it. We've covered lists, tuples, dictionaries, and sets, being the fundamental composite data types in Python. Each one has its own strengths and use cases, so understanding them will help you write more efficient and effective Python code.